What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a review on the single turbo on my 335i. Now I think the bonnet is open, so I can quickly show you how it looks, and then I can tell you all the good, the bad, and whether I think it's a good idea to do it. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the video, hopefully you know if you want to do it, because I mean, there's mine. See, I've got big single turbo. I actually think the filter is loose, so we can open it up completely, and then you can see the blade and everything there. Looks nice, eh? So that is a 6766 turbo. So the turbine is a 67 mil and the compressor is a 66.5 mil. So it's quite a big turbo. It's not small. But we're going to go over all the positives and the negatives. But first, let's just do a cold start so you can hear how she sounds. And then we'll go through all the cons first. We'll do the bad ones and then we'll do the pros. Okay, cool. Like really quite loud because it's basically straight pipe. Right, there's the blade running. You can see it. You can feel the air being sucked in. It's quite cool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let it idle for a while and then we can start. Okay. Yeah. Now I thought while it was idling we can go over my setup a bit before we go into all the pros and cons, because I wanted to idle for a while, speed everything up, and anyways today. So let's go over all the specs. This is a Gtx3582R Turbo running through a 7.5 inch 2-step intercooler. I've got a tail blower valve there with methanol. I'll show the methanol boot as well. And then we've got the updated charge pipe obviously. And I've got a blower valve adapter from Motorsports just so we can run a bigger spring that actually opens with the bigger PPK, I don't know what you call it, like the tubey. Yeah. She's running at the moment E30 I think, but I want to go full pump fuel and then just get more methanol because it's just easier, because otherwise you get old ethanol in the tank and then the car starts to sputter, because I don't drive a lot. I drive my daily a lot. This car this is more like a weekend toy, having fun car. It's too heavy on fuel to drive every day. As you can see there, we've got the methanol in the boot. Got some sound. I did a facelift upgrade in the rear, one of the facelift upgrade in the front as well. So a lot of stuff has gone into this car. And yeah, small update for the people that haven't watched my channel before. This is my single turbo 335i. I'm gonna switch off now. We can go watch the turbo spin after I switched it off. It's a fun part of having a ball bearing turbo. Look, it's still spinning, and it's gonna do that for a while. Yeah, but I think we can start. Let me just put my key down. It's still spinning. Sorry, the small things amuses small minds. Okay, so let's start with the negatives of owning a single turbo. Okay, so the first thing is going to be the cost. Doing a conversion from a twin turbo to a single turbo is quite expensive, because number one, you don't want a cheap turbo. You want a proper nice turbo, and they are really expensive. Trust me, the first time I went for a Chinese turbo, put a big single turbo on, and I blew it within a month of doing the thing. So if you go through my channel, you'll see I blew my first turbo I had on this one. I had a GT35 Chinese turbo, blew it. So don't go Chinese, get a proper turbo, because a lot of boost is going to go through this thing and you want it to last. So the turbo is expensive, and then the labor of doing the actual work. Like if you look at that thing there, to get the turbo here, you need to build the manifold. Firstly, you have to get the old turbos off. Now if you don't know, getting the twins off of this engine is a bitch. It's not a lot of fun, it's really shit. Then they have to build the entire new manifold, get a place for the wastegate, downpipe, you need to do new charge system. So it's a lot of work that goes into this thing. So the conversion itself is the first negative, because it's really expensive. Once it's done, it's fun, but doing the conversion is not cheap. Okay, and then the second problem is working on this thing. So let me just adjust the camera again for you guys. Okay, so you see the turbo itself is fine, but let's say you want to do a valve cover gasket. this pipe here has to come off. But then my exhaust housing is still in the way of the actual, now under this thing is your valve cover. So this is just a little cover key, but underneath this thing is your valve cover. So to get to that, you have to take the entire turbo off. So it's just extra work. It's not necessarily like tons of work, but it's unnecessary, and you didn't have that problem before. The single turbo. Yeah. Okay, and let me just put this filter back. There we go. Mechanic. Sorry, so that's the second thing. Third thing's going to be torque. Now with the twin turbos, you've got tons of low down torque. Put your foot down, she goes. Out of the line, she goes. Single turbo, you're moving your power band up to the end. So with the twin turbos, your power band starts really low, and then peak power is at like 4.5, and then it starts to fall off. This one, you've got peak power all the way at the top, so she's got power to redline, but the power only starts at like 3,900 RPM. So before that, there's this big gap where there's not a lot of power. It's not weak, but it's not a lot of power. So that's something you might miss, like on a long road trip in 6th gear. If it's an uphill you want to overtake, you're going to actually have to go down a gear. It's not going to stay in 6th gear. Even the car will shift down by itself if you've got the cruise control on and it's like an uphill and everything, because it lost a bit of torque. Unfortunately, that's a part of having a big turbo, is you've got lag. Okay, and then I'm going to give the fourth one. It's not necessarily a problem for everybody, but supporting mods. It doesn't help you do a single turbo if you don't have things like the intercooler, upgraded charge pipe, upgraded fuel pump, because you need to upgrade the fuel pump to feed this thing. If you don't have any supporting mods, you won't be able to utilize the single turbo properly, and then the amount of money that the conversion is going to cost you is just not justified. So you need to have the money to do all the add-on mods and the single turbo at the same time, and you need somebody to map it. You can run a JB4 single turbo map with a MHD single turbo back-end flash. It works fine. That's what I'm doing. But I mean, that also costs money. A JB4 isn't cheap. MHD, I think the tuning license is like $70. So it's not cheap, and there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to actually do this. But moving into the good things, first good thing, look at it. I mean, it looks bloody cool. If you go to like a car meet, and you open the bonnet and you see that, the people know this car means business. Okay. Second thing, and this is the most important one to me, the sound. I'll put in some clips, but the way this thing sounds on the road, when that turbo starts spooling, there is absolutely nothing like it on this planet. I'm sure of it. It's almost like Jay-Z noises. You hear the straight six, and then you just start hearing that turbo, that freaking. Next level. And then if you don't boost a lot and the blow valve doesn't open, you've got that choo, choo, choo. And if you don't boost a lot, you've got the blow valve that just goes psh. So it sounds amazing. Okay, couldn't go past that. That's like insane. Okay, biggest positive to me is the way this thing sounds. It's a little loud. Don't think my neighbors like it, but I like it a lot. Okay, next positive is going to be safety of the engine. So you see, when you're running a lot of power on these engines, they can handle a lot. The N54 can handle a lot of power, but low down torque is what breaks stuff. Now remember, now you're moving your power band up, like higher up in the rev range where there isn't too much torque. So you can run more power without running the risk of damaging the engine. So you can run a lot of boost and everything, and chances are you won't hurt the motor. Let's say you ran the same power this in twin turbos. The chances of hurting the engine with twins is higher if you go like hybrid turbos or like 19Ts or whatever. This shouldn't break the engine as easily as the twins because you're moving the torque up in the rev range. So it's making more power safely. That's another positive. Okay, next positive is servicing the turbo itself. So like, let's say you blow out some seals or whatever, or like when I blew the turbo, getting to the turbo now, quick job, easy job. Just take out 4 bolts there, you take those lines out, this comes off, that comes off. That's not such an easy job, but that's fine. Take the downpipe off, boom, Bob's your uncle. You can remove the turbo, service it, or replace it, or whatever. With the twins, if you don't know, that's a crap job. You have to take out the whole subframe, and it's just not a fun job. There's no space. it's shit. There's no other way to say it. And the wastegate rattles, cock. And apparently, even with the upgraded turbos, wastegate rattle can occur. So, not ideal. And that's not a thing at all with these, because you've got an external wastegate, a big ass one. I'll show you quickly. You see there? Big external wastegate. So, another positive, it's easy to work on the turbo. More difficult to work on the motor, but it's easy to work on the turbo. And then the last positive, in my opinion, is going to be resale, and that might just be objective, because like maybe people that see my car on the videos and then that's why they want it. But I've had some offers for the car, and like the offers are like double what I paid for the car. And I've seen one go on Facebook Marketplace with exactly the same mod. It was a newer model, mine's 2007. That one was a 2010, and that guy got 300k for his, which is double what I paid for mine. So the thing is, it should sell for more, because the people that are looking for these engines either want a completely bone stock one, or they want one with the expensive stuff was already done. Doing that conversion is expensive, so it's like it's almost justified to pay more for the car, because then you don't have to do that. It's already done. So it's like buying a car with a lot of power already. Yeah, it's just easier. It's costing more, but it's easier. So I don't know if that one really counts, but it sort of counts in my opinion. All in all, do I think everybody should go single? No. Okay, so let's say you just want almost like a top end power car, highway roll racing, the single turbo is based. Okay, if you want a car that's just like fun to drive and whatever, I think just go like hybrid turbos. Keep the twins, it's not that bad, like not that expensive. Run a bit of ethanol, whatever, you can make good power on these motors. There's people running what 500 horsepower on stock turbos with these things, so you can make some good power without spending all that money. So if you don't want to spend the money, don't do it. But if you want like a really big numbers car that's great on the road racing and sounds insane, do it. Just do it. Your girlfriend might leave you because it's really expensive, but you know, it's okay. At least your car sounds cool. Yeah, and the other guys are gonna like it. And maybe there's like a car girl, and then she sees the turbo and she's like, that's never gonna happen, let's be honest. Alright, yeah. But if you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos on this car, I've got a bunch on my channel. Just go through it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers.